Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
Hi, it's Kerry Lutz. I recently decided to move my retirement account into physical precious metals to hedge against the coming times. If you want to move an existing retirement account into physical precious metals that you can hold in your hand, tax-free, there's no company that can do it more quickly and efficiently than Regal Assets. It took them just 24 hours to open my new IRA account, and all I had to do was fill out one simple form. The best part is that Regal Assets does all the work for you. They cover the setup and administrative costs for 2013. If you're interested in making the same move I did, call 855-678-6620, 855-678-6620. That's 855-678-6620, or visit them at regalassets.com. You'll be glad you did, and tell them Kerry sent you. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network.com. I'm Kerry Lutz on 1230 WBZT. You may have heard this about this lawsuit. You may not have, but basically a lawsuit got filed by Dr. Larry Kawa, an orthodontist, neighbor of mine down here in Florida, in Boca Raton, challenging the government's delay of the employer mandate of Obamacare. And looks like he's got a pretty good case. We've got him on now to talk about it. Dr. Kawa, great to have you on the Financial Survival Network.
Thank you for having me on your show, Kerry.
Hey, so you started a lawsuit. You become a famous plaintiff kind of overnight. What led you to become a plaintiff in a lawsuit?
Well, I felt that the president had crossed a red line, and I felt compelled that somebody had to do something, since I really don't see Congress acting. And here was my beef, is that Article 1 of the Constitution says that only Congress can make or change a law. And as I'm sure you're well aware, being an attorney yourself, Article 2 says that the president has an affirmative duty to enforce the existing laws. Well, on July 2nd, the president tweeted on his first day of an 8-day trip to Africa that cost the taxpayer $100 million, he tweeted that he was going to waive the employer mandate. Now, first of all, if you're proud of doing something, you don't do it while you're leaving the country for an 8-day trip, hoping the shockwaves and the ripple effect will have dissipated by the time you return. You do it in front of the American public, especially when you tout that your administration is the agency of transparency and the rule of law. So you got to ask yourself, what allowed the president to make or change an existing law? Because it says in no uncertain terms in Obamacare that the employer mandate shall begin January 1st, 2014. I'm not sure what part of shall he didn't understand. So he's dipping his toes in the waters of tyranny by seeing what laws he could change apart from the will of Congress. He thinks he's a Congress of one. Now, I think that it's a terrible law, but nevertheless, I'm a law-abiding citizen. So I went out and had attorneys check that my office was compliant with the new law, and then a couple of months later, the president makes a unilateral decision illegally that he's going to change the existing law, meaning whatever time, money, energy, and resources I spent have now been totally wasted, predicated upon his illegal action. Now, we've also asked him, based on what legal authority do you have the right to change an existing law? Just because it has your name on it doesn't mean that you own it. So he has said many times, let me be clear. Well, our answer is go ahead, be clear. When we asked him what legal authority he had, his answer is, I have legal authority, but I'm not going to disclose that until later on. Well, if you do have legal authority, why wait? There's no reason not to be transparent and explain to the American public how you as a president, not Congress, but as a president, are changing laws that were made by our elected officials in Congress. So he's poked his finger in the eye of the Constitution, And that's what had me and Judicial Watch bring this lawsuit. We filed in federal court on October 1st, and they have 60 days to respond. We believe that we hope that we're going to be granted standing. I still have confidence in the judicial branch of government. It's the last of the three that I believe in. And standing means that you have to prove injury in order for the federal judge to hear your case. And my injury is the fact that I have now had money wasted on legal fees because I'm a law-abiding citizen, and that's sending a very poor message to the American public. So when we brought this lawsuit, the defendants include the IRS, the commissioner of the IRS, Daniel Werfel, the Department of the Treasury, and the Secretary of the Department of Treasury, Jack Lew, former Chief of Staff to Obama himself. Both Jack Lew and Daniel Werfel were served lawsuits on October 9th because the president did something illegal, and they just decided they're going to get in line behind him and say, okay, we're going to get and execute his illegal orders. It's tyranny. So I hope that comprehensively answers your question in terms of why I brought the suit, and we're hopeful that we're going to win it.
Right, and the oath that the president executes upon taking office is that he will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, and that he will to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So clearly, this is just the latest or one of many examples that this president has done of choosing which laws he will enforce and which ones he won't, whether it's immigration or the Defense of Marriage Act or you name it. You could just choose which ones he will enforce, which ones he won't, whether it's Wall Street doing their nefarious deeds. You know, it's just a lawless regime is what it comes down to, Dr. Kawa, right? When you get down to it? I
agree with you 100%. And what allows him to do that is that he gets both the media and the public behind him based on taking advantage of their lack of knowledge of exactly what he's doing and how he's doing it. So my lawsuit is not to question the legality of Obamacare. The Supreme Court has already ruled it's constitutional. I'm here to question the legality of Obama's tactics. He's just, he's acting in the capacity of a tyrant, and he does it with a smile on his face. There's an old expression, a diplomat is someone who will tell you to go to hell in such a way that you'll actually look forward to the trip. That's our president. So, and in this country, the wealthier have gotten wealthier, the poor have gotten poorer, the unemployment rate has gone up, while those who invest in the stock market has gone up. In terms of, what he's done and what he has promised, they're totally diametrically opposed. He promised no new taxes on those that earn less than $250,000. And then we have Obamacare, which taxes everyone. So you may recall when George H.W. Bush said, read my lips, no new taxes, Obama said the same thing. And his new taxes far outweigh the new taxes of that of George H.W. Bush. The difference is Bush was defeated and Obama was reelected. Someone actually pointed out to me this week, President Nixon bugged one room in Washington, D.C. and got impeached. President Obama bugged the entire United States and got reelected. You got to say, what kind of country do we really live in when we see such anomalies occurring, and we are tacitly endorsing these strangeisms, if you will, just by our sitting there silently, and some ignorantly applauding what he's doing as they take advantage of him.
Yeah, it's kind of remarkable. And, now you look what's happening to the website. You're mandated to get this coverage. And you were supposed to be able to go there to the healthcare.gov website, sign up, shop for coverage. You were going to get cheaper coverage than you had now. It was going to cost you less. Then you were going to get subsidies. But guess what? Healthcare.gov doesn't even work. And then you're going to go to a website that you can't get coverage on, and then you're going to get fined if you don't get it. And somehow that's constitutional, right?
You want to know yes, that's very strange. What underscores the hypocrisy of what you're describing is that he's actually criminalizing America because it's a crime not to pay your taxes. So he's creating a tax legally, but there's no way that you're capable of paying that tax or buying insurance, and he's putting us in an untenable position, everyone. So now my job here is not to try to dismantle the law. I'm here to try to enforce the existing law and respect the law, and all I'm asking for is a president who is willing to do the same, because he has no more right than you or I to change an existing law. And again, my goal is to enforce it vigorously. I do believe that it's going to collapse under the weight of its own flaws. It's fundamentally flawed, and I think the reason that he chose to waive the employer mandate, which I still feel has not been waived, but the reason he chose to waive it is for political convenience, because he knows that when it goes into effect, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs and have their hours downsized to be under 30, and the American public's going to wake up and blame the Democrats. Well, he doesn't want that to happen until 2015, because he wants to win the midterms in 2014. So he wants to do it during a time people are politically paralyzed. It'll be too late to decide whether it is the Republican or Democrat ideals which better suit your needs as an individual. So while he touts the merits of him representing freedom and freedom of choice, he's actually doing just the reverse. He's taking away your ability to choose. So it's not right.
What about all these waivers that the unions have gotten, that governments have gotten? I think Nevada got a waiver, Colorado got a waiver. I mean, isn't that a little insane as well?
Well, I think it's clearly insane, and the fact that Congress got a waiver, and by the way, what the American public should know is that not only did Congress get a waiver, Congress got a $5,000 per head tax-free, I repeat, tax-free bonus to use on the exchange. Now, if I were to give one of my employees a bonus, they would have to pay Medicare and Social Security taxes, and that's what it is when you get a bonus. Congress has not only been exempt from Obamacare, they've been exempt from their duties as Americans to pay Medicare and Social Security taxes, but on the other end, they're going to benefit from Medicare and Social Security based on what you and I contribute, since they are contributing nothing as part of that $5,000. And by the way, that is not just for them. It's for their immediate families. All of their thousands of staffers and their immediate families are all getting $5,000 per head. And the reason, according to the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, inside the White House, is because they were afraid Congress was going to lose quality staffers if they were involved in Obamacare. Well, what do you think happens to the rest of America for those of us that are not privileged enough to be inside the Beltway of D.C.? Obviously, it's going to affect everyone except for Congress. You know, there should be a law that says that if it's a law that affects the United States, it affects Congress. They are not above the law. The president is not above the law, contrary to his actions. And we really need to learn from what we see happening. They say things that hurt instruct. Well, when you lose, don't lose the lesson. We've got to see what's happening around us and make decisions on what we're going to do to make this into a better America. And by the way, for those of your listeners that would like to follow what we're doing online, our website is theamerican.net. That's theamerican.net. And we are not accepting contributions or donations because I'm not looking to capitalize upon this. However, I would be very appreciative of comments and ideas that anybody has, and you can enter those on the website as well.
Hey, well, you're doing a great job here, Dr. Kawa, and we'll have a link to the site on the financialsurvivalnetwork.com, financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Dr. Kawa, good luck on the suit. We hope you are victorious and help get the law enforced and thereby trashed, because this law is fit for the trash can. Thanks so much, and good luck.
Well, thank you for having me on. And in closing, my message to some discouraged patriots that are out there is that there's millions of us that still exist that are willing to put ourselves in harm's way to defend the Constitution. So for tyrants like our president that want to attack the Constitution, you've got to come through us.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you, Kerry.
Hey, if you're a coffee connoisseur like me, you need to try an amazing new roaster out of LA, Tonks Coffee. These guys are fanatical about delivering the best beans in the world. They source directly from the growers, roast it, and ship it to you within 24 hours, so it's the most fresh coffee you've ever tasted. Every 2 weeks, you get a new batch of incredible beans roasted to perfection. If you're hitting a cafe most mornings, this is a much better and more economical way to get great coffee. Tonks is by subscription only, and they're offering you a free sample. Use the URL tonks.org/liberty. That's TONX.org/liberty. Get some for yourself or send it to someone you know who appreciates the finer things. Tonks.org/liberty. Again, TONX.org/liberty.
The Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.